You're walking home from Dorsey High when three Pyru Bloods corner you at the bus stop on Crenshaw and Slauson. They don't ask questions. Wrong neighborhood, wrong shoes. Your blue Nikes, the ones you saved 6 months to buy, $140 that might as well be a target painted on your feet. The first punch catches you in the jaw. The second in your ribs. You hear something crack. They take your backpack, your phone, your dignity. A car slows down, blue bandana hanging from the rearview mirror. But it doesn't stop. You're not a Crip. Not their problem. You lie on the concrete tasting blood and asphalt, watching the sunset turn the smog orange over the palm trees and Section 8 housing. This is the 4th time this year. You're young enough that your voice still cracks, small enough that every predator sees prey. Your mother works from 6 in the morning to 11 at night, 3 jobs stitched together with bus transfers and instant coffee. Your father is in Pelican Bay State Prison doing 25 to life for a gang murder. You go home, tell your mom you fell playing basketball, and stare at your cracked phone screen. 13 missed calls. The rib hurts so bad you can't sleep, but the emergency room costs money you don't have. The next day, your cousin Malik sees your face and knows immediately. He's 19, rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips, with 60s tattooed on his neck and Crip or die running down his forearm. He takes you to the park and says you have 2 options: keep getting beat or make sure nobody ever touches you again. You think about your father visiting day at Pelican Bay, your mother crying in the car on the drive back. You think about the college applications she keeps leaving on your desk, the future she sacrificed everything to give you. Then you think about the taste of blood on the bus stop concrete. You say yes. Malik smiles and hands you a blue rag, teaches you the handshake, the signs, the language. He says you're family now. Nobody touches family. On Friday, he says, you'll put in work. You don't ask what that means. You already know. Friday night, they take you to an abandoned house on West Boulevard. Putting in work means getting walked in. 8 Crips form a circle. You stand in the center. For 60 seconds, they beat you. If you fight back, the clock resets. If you fall, the clock resets. You take it. Fists like hammers, steel-toe boots, your vision going white, then red, then black at the edges. 60 seconds feels like drowning in concrete with your eyes open. When time is up, they lift you to your feet, hug you, call you Lil Lock. You're bleeding from your mouth and nose, crying, smiling. You belong. They pass around a Hennessy bottle. Someone lights a blunt. Nipsey Hussle plays from a phone speaker. They give you a blue rag and tell you to keep it on you at all times. First lesson. You see red, you react. No thinking, just action. You fold the rag into your pocket and feel the weight of it like a hand grenade. Malik got you the easy initiation because you're blood family. Some kids get jumped for 3 minutes. Others have to put in pain, shoot a rival to prove themselves. You got lucky. For now. Life changes overnight. You walk to school 5 deep. Nobody touches you. The corner store owner gives you free chips and Arizona tea because the set collects protection money from him every week. Girls who never looked at you suddenly do. You matter. You're visible. Your mother asks about your new friends, and you tell her they're guys from basketball. The lie comes easy as breathing. Malik gives you a .38 revolver. Serial number filed off, tells you to keep it close. Your first mission is standing lookout while the set robs a check cashing place on Western Avenue. Your cut is $800. More money than you've ever seen. You buy your mother new shoes, $120, and she cries and calls you a good son. You feel like God and garbage at the same time. 3 months in, Malik's little brother gets hit in a drive-by. He's 8 years old, and the bullet severs his spine, paralyzed from the waist down. The set demands retaliation. Blood for blood. Malik hands you the gun and asks if you're ready to be official. You're in a stolen Honda Civic, 3 deep, hunting pirates like deer. You find one at a gas station off Florence. Red bandana hanging from his pocket. He's 17, pumping gas, laughing on his phone, alive. Malik says, do it. You aim through the window. The world narrows to a tunnel. You pull the trigger 3 times. Pop, pop, pop. Quieter than movies. His body jerks. Phone clatters to the concrete. Gas still pumping. You speed off. You vomit in the back seat. The smell of gunpowder mixes with your own bile and fierce sweat. Malik says you're good. You're official now. You're a real 60. That night you can't sleep. You see his face. You learn later he wasn't even the shooter. Wrong blood set, wrong person. Doesn't matter. Baby J is still paralyzed. Your victim's mother will visit his grave forever. The cycle continues, and you're part of it now. You're 15, a young gangster in the hierarchy, controlling a corner on West Boulevard. You sell weed, collect protection money, make $3,000 a month. You buy your mother a used Camry, $4,500 cash, and a chain for yourself. $400 with blue stones and a 60s pendant. You're wearing it when your father calls collect from Pelican Bay. $15 for 15 minutes. You tell him you're doing good, staying out of trouble. He knows you're lying. He says, "Don't be like me." You say you won't. The irony tastes like copper. APD knows your name now. Gang Intervention Unit has a file with your photo, your arrests, your associates. You've been booked twice. Possession and evading, both dismissed because witnesses forgot what they saw. Your mother finds the gun under your mattress and cries and begs you to stop. You promise you're just holding it for someone. You'll get rid of it. You don't. She looks at you with eyes that have seen this movie before and says, "You're becoming your father." You tell her she's wrong. You're lying to her. You're lying to yourself. 4 a.m. at Malik's apartment, counting money from a drug run. Battering ram. DEA. They've been building the case for 8 months. Federal conspiracy charges. Distribution. Weapons. They arrest 23 people. You're 15, so you're charged as a juvenile initially, but the prosecutor wants to try you as an adult. Mandatory minimum 10 years. They show you surveillance photos, your fingerprints on baggies, your phone records, everything. Your public defender has 90 cases and 0 time. He says, take the plea. 3 years in juvenile hall. The alternative is trial as adult. Lose. 15 to 25 in adult prison. You take the plea. The family was a lie. Malik snitched, took a deal. 5 years instead of 20. He gave up everyone, including you. The cousin who called you family put you in a cage to save himself. You sit in Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall, learning what loyalty actually means in the economics of survival. 2 years in, you're 17. You get a letter. Your mother had a heart attack. The stress, the bills, the shame of visiting her son in jail while her husband rots in prison. She survived, but she's weak. They let you call. She says she forgives you. You don't forgive yourself. Malik is out early. Good behavior. Cooperating witnesses get privileges. Baby J died from an infection related to his paralysis. The blood you killed. His younger brother just got jumped into the Pyrus. The cycle continues. Nothing changed. Nobody won. Your cellmate is a kid who looks about 14, baby-faced, and terrified, getting jumped in tomorrow to a different Crip set. He asks if it's worth it. Being a Crip. You don't answer. They release you at 18. Your mother picks you up in the Camry you bought with blood money. She's thin, gray, quiet. The drive home is silent. You pass your old corner and see new kids. Same blue rags, same dead eyes. One of them is your cellmate, already out, already back in. He waves. You don't wave back. You have a 60s tattoo on your ribs from when you were 16 and stupid and thought ink meant family. Bloods know your face. You killed one of theirs. Some Crips think you snitched because you're Malik's cousin. You can't go back, can't move forward, can't leave Los Angeles because of parole restrictions. GPS ankle monitor blinking red on your leg. 6 p.m. curfew. No associating with gang members in a neighborhood where everyone you know is a gang member. You get a job at a car wash. $12 an hour. You're trying. You're clean. 3 months later, a car pulls up. Bloods. The dead kid's brother. They recognize you. You run. They chase. You're cornered in an alley off Crenshaw, the same street where this all started. You could fight. You're still trained. Still dangerous. You could run, but the ankle monitor will tell your parole officer, and you'll violate. You choose option 3. You stop running. You turn around, hands up, and say you're sorry. You were just a kid. You were stupid. You can't take it back. The blood aims his gun at your chest. His hand shakes. He's 16, younger than you were. He's crying. He misses his brother. You're crying. You miss who you could have been. He pulls the trigger. Click. Empty chamber. Maybe he forgot to load it. Maybe he couldn't do it. Maybe he chose mercy. You'll never know which. He spits on you, calls you dead anyway, and leaves. You sit in the alley with tears and spit on your face. Your ankle monitor violated. You're 8 blocks outside your approved zone. Police are coming because someone reported gunshots. You wait. Blue and red lights approach. The colors that define your life. You're arrested for parole violation. Back in the system. In the county jail holding cell, you're surrounded by 5 other men. 3 Crips, 2 Bloods. Everyone's quiet, exhausted, broken. The youngest looks about 14, asks if it's worth it. Banging. Nobody answers. You want to scream run. Leave. It's a trap. But you say nothing. Because he won't listen. Because you didn't listen. Because your father didn't listen. Because the system that creates this doesn't want it to stop. It needs the bodies. It needs the cycle. It needs kids desperate enough to trade their futures for the illusion of safety. The kid asks again, is it worth it? You look at him and see yourself 5 years ago, bleeding on a bus stop, choosing blue over life. You finally answer, ask me in 10 years, if I'm still alive. You both know you won't be. The cycle doesn't end. It just replaces the bodies. The blue rag in your pocket isn't a flag. It's a noose. And everyone wearing it is already hanging. That's it for today. Now look, this story is fiction, but the pattern is real. Every year, thousands of kids in South Central, Compton, Chicago, Detroit make this exact choice. Not because they're bad, because they're desperate. Because society gave up on them before they learned to walk. We call them criminals. They call themselves survivors. And honestly, both are true. The real question isn't, why do kids join gangs? It's why do we keep building a world where gangs are the best option a kid has?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share. See you in the next video.